Hey guys, what's going on? Will here, Flawless Crested Geckos, coming to you guys with another video. Actually, this was almost a special request. We were talking about this on Discord on our Patreon. Go check us out. And it's just simple about firing up geckos. And we were reading through, watching what everyone else does as far as firing up their geckos, and started going through. I could have swore that Audra and I did a video. Maybe we spoke about it on a live and didn't do the video, but I thought we did a video talking about how we fire up our geckos. So couldn't find the video. We have over 100 videos here, so subscribe, check us out. We think we're pretty cool. So I know we're providing a really cool community over there on Patreon and here as well. So comment down below if there's certain things that you want to see us do videos on. Certain topics you want us to talk about, dealing with the industry, the hobby, whatever it may be. Long as it's not controversy, we don't deal with no drama. That's the only thing that we don't do on this specific channel, and we don't do in business. We don't do drama. So that being said, all positive vibes are allowed at all times. So we started bouncing ideas off each other. Audra and I were like, let's find that video. We started fishing through the videos, going through our backlog, and we couldn't find it. So we're like, all right, well, apparently we never did it. But it's quite the story. So we're gonna give you a little bit of a lead up to how we ended up to where we are now as far as firing up geckos. We noticed, and this is kind of, we are breeders. We've been breeding for 8 years. We love what we do, and we're full time. That being said, we want to tell you our mistakes, our experiences, our obstacles, as well as our success. Firing up geckos is one of those weird topics where it's not talked about a ton. There's a bunch of videos on YouTube. So hopefully we will get this one out there and show how we do it at our level. And the reason I say at our level is because we do things quite differently now than when we initially started. So, and we've had the greats to be able to compare our deals and do different methods, adapt to different methods that they utilize. First meeting Brian at Altitude Exotics and talking to him first before meeting him. We were purchasing a lot of geckos in the very beginning. We had probably 100 geckos before we created the Flawless brand. A lot of people know our story as far as that goes. We were working full-time law enforcement, both Audra and I, and we were trying to figure out how to become keepers, breeders, and then starting a business and creating business standards. When you go on, say for instance, any website, any breeder site, Morph Market, whatever it may be, there is a significant difference between fired up and fired down. Okay, so at the end of the day, I feel that fired up best displays your crested geckos. Fired down, it's the same gecko, but it's not displaying its nicest colors. It's not as, it's like you're getting dressed up and you want to go out, go out on the town or whatever. You, your wife, your boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever it may be, or you by yourself. You want to always put your best foot forward. So if you're putting something out there to sell to a potential customer, you want it to reveal its actual colors, its best foot forward. You don't want to mess with the coloring or anything. You're just basically allowing your gecko to put on its absolute nicest outfit to go out. That's how we look at things. And there's many different ways to do it. So when we first started off, we spoke to Brian. Brian typically gave us the blueprint on, he puts his geckos into deli cups, sprays them a little water, puts them into a dark place or a large shipping box. Let them sit there, for 15-20 minutes, however long it may take, and normally they fire up. Well, when we had 100 geckos and we were just taking pictures of geckos just for marketing and advertisement, it worked really well. But it was always hit or miss. I want to say it had 60 to 70% success rate for us. we weren't firing up 100 geckos all at one time, but we want to take some shots of some future breeders at that time, whatever it may be. We may cup up 5 to 10 geckos at a time, put them in a shipping box, put them in a dark, put them in a spare bedroom or closet, and have them fire up. That was definitely success to a certain extent, until you're graduate and you're put behind the 8 ball in a kind of way. I'll explain. So you're taking pictures, you're getting awesome content, you're putting it out there for yourselves, and then you start hatching out babies and growing them out, and you start taking pictures of them. Same thing, marketing and advertising. But as your business continues to grow, you learn and adapt. And we do it quite differently now. Probably no one else probably quite does it the way we do it, or maybe very few. So we're gonna let the cat out of the bag. So now we have right around 2,200, around 2,200 plus geckos, close to 2,500 geckos. Do we take photographs of all of them? No, we don't. We have photos of all of our breeders, pretty much all of our holdbacks. We try to take progression photos of things that we're going to keep. We kind of evaluate hatchlings by eye on a weekly basis to determine whether they fall into a holdback category or not. Now, to revisit the fired up versus fired down argument.
Hey guys, Flawless Crested Geckos here, Will and Audra.
And we're here to tell you guys about our new Patreon tier. Have you guys ever played the lottery, lose, and get all your money back?
That's not really a thing, is it? Oh, but yes it is. With our new tier, the $100 a month, you get every single bit of your money back for the entire year. But guess what? It doesn't end at the end of the year. Right. No, you have rollover. So you can continue to build your savings account as much as you would like.
Right.
But guess what? That's not all.
That's right. You
What
also
is the biggest perk?
Are automatically entered for our annual free Exantic giveaway. Visual Exantic.
A free visual Exantic. Oh my gosh. Who does that? We do.
That's right. So you guys are going to want to go over to patreon.com/flawless crested geckos and check us out.
Join the Flawless family.
That's right. We prefer fired up 95% of the time. So if you ask yourself, what's the 5% of the time that you prefer not to fire up? I'm going to go as far as to say very morph-specific animals. Like super Dalmatians are hit or miss. They fire up, sometimes show off their colors better fired up. Sometimes if you have like an all white one fired down, it kind of looks better fired down. And the other, that's one of the categories. The other category is like it's, stepbrother, close-knit cousin, which is going to be confettis, red confettis, matter of fact. Almost 100% of the time, they look better if you're trying to show off their spots fired down than they do fired up. 9 times out of 10, if we have a red based confetti, male or female, it's going to have red spots on it, black spots on it. So you can see both the red and black spots when it's fired down. But when it's fired up, it gives you that shiny, very, very vibrant red fired up. And when you take pictures of it, you can only see the black spots because they typically fire up the same intensity of their red spots. So you can no longer see their red spots when they're fired up. So that's the downfall. So those two categories right there, Super Dows and Confettis, Mardi Gras, are a little bit of trouble areas. So it's kind of hit or miss with those. So we went from putting geckos and deli cups into a dark spot to where we are now on a larger scale. So when we do photographs, you guys know we just put up like 230 geckos, 232 to be exact, crested geckos for Black Friday. We sold well over 100 of them. And the process for that was a lot of 48-hour periods of taking pictures and just getting in the grind, and tired or not, getting the work done. It just kind of is what it is. But the process. So what do we do differently now? Do we put them in the dark? Yes, no. We do have another spare bedroom where we put the geckos in the dark, but they have light on them. Huh? What does that mean? So we actually, the only time we utilize UVB is to fire up our crested geckos. We have several different types of lamps. This here is one of them. This is actually a brand spanking new one. This is a sun blaster horticultural lighting. This is a T5 high output combo. This takes a T5 bulb. It's mostly for planting if you are a plant buff, but this is a 24-inch bulb. Actually, I'll show you guys, one second. Okay, so this is actually one that we currently use. This is one that's in use. This is a T5 bulb. And how we normally set it up is we bring up a nice size tote and one like this. So you see the size of this tote. I can actually, deli cups and all, filled to the brim, I could fit about 40 geckos into this tote in deli cups. So we put the geckos into the tote, we put the deli cups, the whole 9 yards. They're all labeled, which geckos, the whole 9 yard, male, female, weights. We take the weights before we put them in the deli cup. We jot everything down. So I take that information and it helps later on. So this now, we sit this on top and turn it on. And turn the light to the actual room off and sit it on the floor. Now, normally we come back 5 to 10 minutes later and they are lit up, all fired up. This is our firing up process. So we use that. We keep a bunch of these as extras on hand because when you do what we do, time is of the essence. If we have 48 hours left to, mind you, we have to get photos ready for our Patreon members first. They get 48 hours notice for early access, so they can shop before it's, our availability is available to the masses. So that makes us have a closer deadline. So a lot of time we're working through the night. So we're taking photos through the night and that bulb goes. Yes, we have spare bulbs. But that bulb goes. Okay, cool, no problem. Grab one of the spare bulbs, change the bulb. But if the ballast is no longer good, meaning the housing, and the light completely failed, you're really screwed at 9 p.m. at night for a light that you're probably gonna have to special order through Amazon and wait at least 1 to 2 days for it to arrive. So we make sure that we have at least 4 or 5 complete units, bulb and ballasts, brand spanking new, sitting to the side, along with replacement bulbs, because we would obviously rather replace the bulb if we can get that unit back up and running. But they're electronic and things are prone to fail. So that is our process. So to help out with even more of a visual, I'm gonna show you it kinda in a way in here. So let me show off. Actually, we should have did a diamond series on this girl. This is one of our, you guys get a nice little sneak peek. Go ahead, do your screen recording. We haven't shown this off in Diamond Series yet. So this is gonna be a gecko we haven't shown off, but it's also gonna be in its fired down state, okay? So this is Flatline. Check her out. She's actually trying to fire up, if you can see the misfiring on her other side. But this is Flatline. Flatline is an empty back, a breeder empty back girl here. We have plenty. We like to keep the best of the best when it comes to the empty back. Check her out, that quad, the quad markings, the quad stripe, the empty dorsal, the huge head. She's a breeder here. She is roughly 40, I think she's 49 grams. So you can see right there the tiger striping. That is not her pattern. That's her trying to fire up. That's what you would call a misfire. Okay, so I'm not gonna make it a Diamond Series episode for you guys, but now I'm going to pause here, come back in a second. I'm actually gonna set her up exactly the way I just told you guys that we set her up, or we set all our geckos up, and then show you what she looks like fired up. So here we go, we're back. You know, the advancement of having YouTube and, you know, editing and everything, you guys didn't have to wait very much long. So now after that entire process, now we're gonna show you, this is her all fired up, just a plain old deli cup with some paper towel in it to hold moisture. You spritz it. See if we'll get her in focus. There we go. You spritz her with a couple shots of spray bottle water, regular simple water, and they fire up for you. It's been approximately 10 minutes. Actually, I had to go. I almost got sidetracked, but it's been 10 minutes. Normally, we'll stack that tub full of literally like 40 geckos, however many geckos will fit in there at one time. Typically, we do males first, and then females second. That's kind of been the cheat code. So I'm letting you guys know, if you made it this far through the video, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button for these gems we dropping on you guys. We typically try to take photographs of males first. So I'll, you know, do all our males first, fire them all up. And then we do our females. If you wonder, asking why, well, typically we have larger, bigger size geckos that we offer for sale. That being said, a lot of them at early stages, whether they're in their early 30s, 40 grams, whatever it may be, males are, I mean, numbskulls, really. All they know is food, pooping, and breeding. So typically we do our males first. I don't have not nearly as many nips or anything, them trying to bite me and all that other stuff. It goes really, really smooth. Take those photographs, and then we do the females, and they're really smooth sailing after that. That has been trial and error, because before we just kind of do a mixture, just put geckos in the underneath, label them and take photos. And I was wondering why I'm always getting bit up by these males. Well, that's because the males typically smell the female that's, you know, you've been handling prior to picking them up and trying to photograph them. And if that at that, you know, crazy adolescent age where they want to really get it on breeding wise, now they're looking to bite and making all them sounds and doing their thing. So we learn quickly. So maybe now you don't have to learn that process if you listen to this video. So that's pretty much the gist of it. That's what we do now at this level. It takes us a few days to take photographs of over 200 geckos, but when we do, you know, anything under 60 geckos, typically is a breeze. Now a couple days process, knock it out and get it uploaded. We still have our photo shoot days where we photograph, you know, breeders and not for sale animals, because you guys want to make sure you're photographing for content for your social media as well, not just for sellable animals. That's another cheat code. If you want to get into this business, this industry, even this hobby, you want to put yourself out there on social media before you have anything available to sell. Show off, you know, some of your prized possessions so you can kind of get chatter going in a positive manner about what you have that maybe somebody else may want. They may want offspring from. So hopefully this video isn't too long. Like I said, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and comment down below if there's anything else you want us to talk about or kind of give you examples on. And again, check us out on Patreon. We do a lot of business focused topics, examples, demonstrations, the whole 9 yards over there. Business structuring, business building, increasing your reach on social media, sales, promotion, advertisement, the whole 9 yards. But it's Will, Flawless Crested Geckos. We out.